at the high road inside of the Mirror of Dead Men as Tynus is disposing of the body of Dor. Doc and Vicious would start to see the black dragon kind of weaving through the trees as it approaches behind him. And in a few moments, you see as it lifts this body out of the brush and swallows it whole. And we are going to pick up about at that point, where we're going to have Hadar roll into scene, probably talking about food. And the dragon will be in view with Tynus staring back at you all. What would you all like to do?
Do you see that?
I would be shouting. What are you guys doing with the dragon?
Oh dear God, we need to back away silently.
You brought more tributes.
Yes, there's a few of them there. Help yourself. We'll just be on our way now.
Backing up.
It takes a moment as it almost like weaves around Tynus's body, which would be the first time he kind of notices it. Between your views and this feel of this creature as it kind of like weaves around him. And I believe the other two bodies were kind of left off away. So you would almost be pointing like behind you back towards the main construction site. Yeah, because he was chasing down Dor when he killed him and basically disposed of that body right after feeding. So it'll kind of look across to where you're pointing. Excellent. Please continue. Bring me more. Your tributes are especially tasty.
Yep, we know you like them still warm. That's why we brought them for you. That one there, though, in front of you, that's he's with us. He'll be on his way as well.
Kind of spins around Tynus as it looks into his eyes. You'd see its neck is about as long as its body, and its tail is slightly longer than the two of them. And as it kind of looks into Tynus, you are special. Your flavor is unique. And then it weaves away, and it's going to kind of pop back into the swamp behind.
I think we should get away from here.
So it seems at very least your submission was enough that... Well, actually, let me get an insight from the three of you. That'll do. That's Vicious, like, absolutely fails this with a 1.
Yeah, because I haven't got my sheet open, so, you know.
So yeah, as you all are kind of like treating with the dragon here, it's at least apparent enough that if it has dealings with the cultists, it thinks you are cultists. If it doesn't have dealings with the cultists, it thinks you're giving tribute. Having not really spoken about any of that, it seems that at very least at present, it is perfectly happy using you as a food source, and thinks whatever Tynus has done has left them a special flavor and marinade on the corpse of Dor, who it has already devoured. And it's going to kind of duck back into the swamp as it swims down into the water. There's like a little bit of a sizzle. There's some bubbles that kind of leave off behind it as it seems to swim away, but within a few moments it's kind of lost into the fog and swampy undergrowth. So it is again near dusk on Nightal the 5th. It didn't grab the other two corpses, but it did look off into that direction. So it is up to you all. I would say Tynus is probably going to at least put a little bit of effort into dragging those corpses closer to the swamp's edge, and where he would have seen the dragon. Because those are the two that are pretty clearly killed by him. He burnt the guard alive with a flame spell, and then used divine energy to melt the leg off of the other worker.
As it sort of like slithers away into the swamp, Doc will say, "Don't go too far now. We'll be back with your other tributes shortly." And then he'll start to walk away and signal to the others to come with him.
Just gonna follow Doc then.
And as we like get back to the road and I guess like out of earshot or whatever, he'll sort of like whisper to everyone, clearly that thing has been interacting with the cult. It was confused us for some of its members. We have an important decision to make. Do we take these other bodies back to it and try to find out something, or shall we bring them back and try and kill it?
Just a quick question. Does someone know if you can poison a dragon?
Doc, roll either a wisdom or an intelligence, and then Hadar, roll a medicine or arcana. Totally forgot why I was going to have Doc roll that one.
I rolled twice by mistake, sorry.
Alright, yeah, so your medicine is not high enough. Shit. Doc's was before it. Fuck. God damn it. Doc, you had just said it had mistaken you for cultists, and then something else right after that?
Yeah, like thought we were bringing it tribute, mistaking us for cultists, and then whether or not we should bring back the bodies and try to find out more information or kill it.
Damn, that wasn't what piqued my thought then. Damn, there was something about Black Dragon lore. Fuck. I got totally psyched out by Hadar asking a good question. I feel like it was a question of, fuck it, I'll give you Hadar's knowledge. Black dragons are acidic in nature, so you may be able to poison such a thing, but you cannot use acid to hurt them. They are a living embodiment of acid. That was not the information that I was originally going to give you. It was something else. But I think that's kind of what you all can kind of have from that little moment, because you did roll good, so I can answer his question.
So I guess as we walk back and go try to find the bodies, Doc's gonna get his opinion from the other two. Welcome back, Hadar. Not sure exactly how you found us, but we can take care of that on another time. What's y'all's opinion about this situation here? My inclination is that we need to kill this beast, but never fought a black dragon before, and I'm not sure if we're equipped for it.
I would guess that you answered my question from before, but back to character. Uh, we, well, I think first of all we should get some poison from somewhere. I don't know if someone has some poison at hand, we can make some. And the other thing, the situation is quite. I mean, there's definitely some dragon holdings people around here because someone else should have fed the beast before us.
Yes, and the truth is, I'm afraid that if we come back and the suspicion with those missing, and not to mention our little encounter with the dragon, we may not get a second opportunity.
Yeah, they don't like us.
And if they found out that we've discovered their friend, or even suspect that that's what killed these ones, and that we may know of it, we may be next on that list.
Oh, that's what it was. You also gather that you may have been sent up here to get eaten by said dragon.
Right. I think, yeah.
Well, that makes even more sense. Didn't seem inclined to want to leave that area, so perhaps we can draw it out, and if things go wrong, we can flee.
Do you think it flies?
You would have seen its wings roughly having about a 40 to 50 foot wingspan.
Okay.
But it didn't, it was like swimming in the water and didn't seem like it wanted to leave the swamp area.
Do another intelligence check.
That's more like it.
It's hard to gather what it was or not doing in that moment. But going off of the general like black dragon knowledge from that 18, I'll still give you that black dragons tend to nest in blighted areas of swamp. So you all are not near its nest, but you are perhaps near where the cult feeds. That's why I was trying to say that you guys might have been sent here to die.
I just thought they didn't like us and they wanted us to be dead.
So I suspected that you're right. I knew there was something fishy about this situation, Vicious. I tell you the truth, though, I think probably if we're going to go out in a blaze of glory, perhaps this is it.
I'm not sure what would be the best idea to encounter this. I mean, I don't know how much they could use the dragon for their own fight or anything. So I believe that, I mean, fighting the dragon head on doesn't sound like a good idea. I think if we would want to kill the dragon, we should definitely get some poison from somewhere.
Yes, but the problem is with these ones missing and us coming back into town, I suspect that they'll know that we've encountered it, or at least suspicious of it. And the truth is, if we know someone's been in cahoots with this dragon and been feeding it, then the likelihood is when we return that we may return as hostiles ourselves.
Well, what option do we have then? I mean,
Vicious, let me have you roll a d4.
one option would be like, I mean, we could retreat from this place, but I'm not sure if this would be the best idea, just leaving those guys here.
They'll only grow more powerful with time. I'm not sure we'll have another opportunity if we don't at least attempt this one. Perhaps we can catch it off guard and see how it goes initially. And if things start to spoil, you two make a run for it and I can stay behind and buy us some time.
I'm still not happy about the idea of fighting a dragon head on. I mean, those things are freaking strong.
Yeah, I don't know how you catch it off guard. Aren't
Yeah,
they always on guard?
the other problem would be if we fight it, it could fly away. If it's losing, I mean.
This one is young. It's not like the previous one that the party faced before we met you. The best chance of taking one out is to get it while it's still a juvenile. And the truth is, it could fly away, but at least we'll know we've tried, and it could easily take us as well. But what better reason? If we are good, we are meant to help this world and these people. Perhaps this is our time to take a chance.
So are you trying to kill yourself?
Of course not.
Well, he can try and kill himself, but I don't think he should try and kill us.
So which is what do you think? Do you think that we should just try to get some poison somewhere else and give the dragon a chance to grow and try to kill it afterwards with poison, or do you want to fight it right now? I mean, you guys love to fight, I know that, but
Giving it a chance to get bigger and stronger doesn't seem like a good idea.
Come on, Hadar, say it. I'm an eater, not a fighter.
I'm an eater, not a fighter. I live to eat. I want to. There's so much food on my list that I want to try when I get older. I can't die to a dragon right now.
Well, imagine the feast they would prepare for you, Hadar, the dragon killer. Stuns it with a single blow as me and Vicious run it through. And the truth is, Vicious, these things take hundreds of years to grow, so a couple days is not going to make a difference one way or another. But there's a good possibility if we go back to camp that they'll suspect us, especially with the other ones missing and what's happened here. We may not have another opportunity.
But uh, they might also suspect it after we kill the dragon. The
But
other point is we could go to camp and say there's a dragon in the swamp and just point that out.
the problem is, Hadar, I suspect that they sent us up here to die by the dragon. They had no one watching us. They sent us off on a little scouting mission, and the direct spot that they sent us to is the exact place where the dragon just so happens to be fed. I feel like they sent us up here to be eaten. So if we
So,
return back again and others are missing, and we're likely to seem suspicious.
so there wouldn't be any reason for us to go back to camp anyways. So, I mean, wouldn't be the most viable option to go to the next nearby town and probably get some backup because or some. I'm still for the poison option, but yeah,
Roll a, this is straight wisdom for me, Hadar.
I think Dagalt is a good man. I don't think that everyone is corrupt. Oh, and he was like the leader of like the whole deal, and then like the road party up here. And then once we got here, Hadar, Bogluck was like the leader that we suspect was like corrupt and probably in cahoots with the dragon.
Dagalt is the open lord of Waterdeep, and he's commissioned the High Road Charter Company to build this road to get to Neverwinter, which is where his family's like kingdom originally was from. The leader
Oh,
of
Bogluck,
this,
I meant.
yeah, the leader of the High Road Charter Company here was Larian Keenblade, and then Bogluck runs the actual roadhouse because Keenblade basically goes like to and from Waterdeep and the Charter Company.
Oh yeah, my bad. I mixed those up. Larian was the one who like we got. He was the one I was like kind of making friends with, and then all of a sudden I killed that guy, and he like sort of like excommunicated us. But we
Yeah,
got the
you
impression
like
that he was
charmed
a good
him.
guy.
Yeah, you charmed him because you're both fighters, like background of fighting with the Lord's Alliance. And you basically heard that he was just making good money privately working for Dagalt, having previously actually worked as one of his defenders, like one of his personal bodyguard. And it was like right after basically finding out that he essentially left the military to work as a private contractor that you murdered that cultist. Like, just standing there in conversation, you saw the cultist like point the three of you out, and you threw your daggers and killed him like right in front of Larian. But you also gathered somewhat by his surprise that Larian did not seem to be in with the cultists, where you did have signs that Bog Luck, like when Tinus dropped the case and it like basically exploded with a bunch of like fine jewelry and items that would not be useful for building a road. Bog Luck was like, oh yeah, those are for paying people off, tolls. He did not seem surprised in the least bit.
So let me ask you this: if we go back and try to fight the dragon right now, obviously we don't have Raz with us, but will we have like Tinus as like an NPC, like potential healer, or how will that work?
I think a better question would be is, do you have a chance to fight the dragon now? And I would say that is not likely. You all would have to basically try to track through the swamp to see if you can find where the dragon went. At present, you all basically lost your chance to fight the dragon.
Oh, I thought we were literally bringing it back, the other bodies. Like we said, there was other bodies and we were going to get them. Don't go far. I thought that was like the whole point.
It already swam off. Like, you guys can certainly like deposit the bodies with the hopes that it comes back to devour them. But at present, that dragon is no longer there. It's not waiting for you.
Oh, I guess I misunderstood what you were saying. I mean, I definitely want to fight the dragon. We don't get a lot of opportunities to fight cool shit. I feel like that would be an awesome fight. So
You got another character ready to go?
I mean, I can if I have to. I definitely wasn't planning on Raz not showing up though, so that kind of threw everything off because I was planning on us fighting it right off the bat, first thing.
Well, we can't.
Well, then we have to think what we do now, guys. So you say if we go to the camp right now, probably they will be suspicious of us. Is there anything you can do about it? I mean,
Yeah, the camp's not really like friendly towards us. Like they sort of are. They give us a place to sleep, but they clearly sent us out here specifically to die to the dragon. So if we try to like get like a bunch of poison or something like that, the likelihood of them suspecting it, or even if we go back to the camp right now and those three people missing, there's a very high likelihood that they're gonna think either we killed them or they're gonna know that we like something's fishy.
so I mean, they're probably if we don't go back to the camp, they probably believe that we are dead, and so we should probably try to hide ourselves and look what those guys in the camp are doing and who is. I mean, we know that there's someone feeding the dragon. We could just wait here in the woods for someone to pass by us who feeds the dragon with. I mean, just like scout the camp without them noticing us and let them believe that we are there.
Having an inclination and knowing are definitely two different things. You guys assume that they are feeding this dragon, and you assume that they sent you here to die. You don't know that they did. It's definitely more of a feeling than like a writ fact.
The other option would be just go straight forward into the camp and tell those guys that we met a dragon.
Yeah, so at present, it sounds like you're kind of at three different points here. You can try to like track down the dragon and head into the swamp. You can come up with some sort of excuse as to what's happened, at very least for those three people, about what happened at the work site and go back to the camp. Or you can try to head off to some other place in the world. But you all are essentially in the middle of nowhere between Waterdeep and Leyland, which is the closest town realistically to where you all are. But you're heading deeper to the north rather than like somewhere just close by.
I think we should try to fight it.
Okay.
I mean, you got potential to stun it. If it's just one enemy we're fighting at a time, Vicious can go like reckless because it's probably already going to hit us pretty easily. So Vicious would be like reckless with all our attacks. We're completely healed up, like have all of our stuff. I mean, if we're ever going to have an opportunity to fight a dragon, I think this is, a young dragon with an opportunity, to this was a random encounter, by the way, Jan. I don't think you caught that part, but I feel like in step with like the actual dragon theme of this and everything, like this is opportunity for us to basically like move forward with the plot in like an unexpected random way.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like fighting a dragon is always a bad idea. Because remember the blue demon before, it just flew away when we attacked it or something. I mean, if it doesn't want to fight, it just goes away. Even if it is a young dragon. I mean, if you guys want to fight it, we can try to find it and try to fight it. I mean, it's 2 against 1 then.
Well, if we track it to its nest, it's less likely to fly away because it'll be like defensive of probably its nest, or at least we'll know where it lives at. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I was definitely planning on fighting it this week, like first thing, and then Raz kind of threw us for a hook there.
Yeah, so I mean, if you really want to do that, we can go for that. I mean, I don't want to block everything. I still think it would be a bad idea to dodge the dragon and kill it in another way, but uh, I mean, if we want to go for the fight, we can do it. Yeah. I mean, I can't leave you guys dying without me.
I mean, I'm definitely like all about group consensus, especially on fighting a dragon, but I just feel like the name of the game is Dungeons and Dragons, and we all like are playing badass or attempting to be badass heroes. And if we're ever going to do anything cool, it's fighting a dragon.
And the problem with the dragon is that it's really strong normally. I mean, so uh, so how do you so assuming that we're going to fight the dragon? What's the plan to fight the dragon? I mean, we can't just go in there and attack it without a real plan. I mean, we somehow got to get it to the ground. I mean, probably we just fly up. Do you have something to keep? Do you have something to keep it to the ground?
Not in particular. I could maybe rig something up with an arrow and some rope, but I think it would be too strong to tell you the truth. I think our best bet is to catch it by surprise and try to stun it and do as much damage as we can.
If I miss, so if I miss the stun, we'll just lose.
So you want us to say boo?
I mean, the we definitely need to catch it by surprise, but I think we still need something more to kill the dragon.
Well, we'll need to dispose of the bodies regardless, so perhaps we can bring the bodies back and see if it shows back up. If it does, we can get it had no problem getting close to us. It didn't seem scared of us at all, so we can attempt to get it by surprise then and perhaps stun it and just unload on the thing. Do our best. Worst case scenario, we injure it and it flies away, or best case scenario, we kill it or we die in glory.
Yeah, I don't think the worst case scenario is that it flies away. I think the worst case scenario is that it kills us. But No, we only live once.
So guys, let's make a decision and make a vote. Everyone who is for killing the dragon, puts their hands up.
Okay, I'll raise my hand.
Yeah, Doc raises in.
You guys are idiots. Well, if you guys want to die, I will come with you and we'll try too. So let's kill this dragon.
It's probably got ring and has been listening the whole time.
So I
So-
guess we'll have Tynus like lead us back to the body that he like scorched, and then like the one that he like bled out.
Yeah, they're back at the main like work site of the road, so it's like a quarter mile back.
Well, I can easily carry one.
And I can easily carry a piece of one. Is the one like completely scorched that he like fired whatever to it?
Oh yeah, it's like 99.9% third-degree burns.
Hey Doc, can you give me a hand with this one?
Oh man, you want to fight a dragon? You want to carry a dead body? So much work. So and I gotta give him a hand.
So you're just carrying them back to that general spot and like putting them next to the swamp?
Yeah, we'll carry him back to the same spot, put him next to the swamp, and then basically, I guess on the way back, I'll communicate to him. Need some sort of keyword so we can all have a strike at the same time. What should it be?
Here's your present.
That's perfect. We'll when the time is right, we'll yell, "Here's your present." Get him excited that we have something for him, and when he comes close, then we strike simultaneously.
Wait,
And
wait,
if things get out of control, we need a word for retreat so we know to leave.
wait. One sec. I need
Run?
clarification on that, Commander. You said, you will approach us after here's your present, and then we strike. I thought we strike when you say here's your present.
Yeah, here's your present is the word for us to all simultaneously attack. And what should be the keyword for if we need to get out of there so he doesn't know we're running away? Maybe we could say something would make him think that there's reinforcements coming.
There's our vampire coming. No, I did so.
Reinforcements would probably be on its side.
And just shout reinforcements are coming. I mean,
Can yell, bring in the cavalry, and that'll make him think that we've reinforcements, but instead we'd run away. Maybe he won't pursue us.
or he gets a other idea that we want to try to get reinforcements, and will pursue us. I mean, well, this.
How about if we yell, unleash the fury? That means run away.
Oh, I like that.
Sounds
Or
intimidating. He'll never expect us to flee.
all right. I mean, now we need to find the dragon. I hope he comes back.
All right, so I guess we'll proceed the rest of the way back to where it was and like prop up the bodies or position them at the edge of the swamp.
So you make your ways to roughly the same area as where Highness went to dispose of the body of Dor, where you first saw the dragon. Let me have Doc roll a d10. Kind of like prop them up against the tree. Just kind of hold back, waiting for a moment. Nothing seems to really change. Doesn't seem to be anything happening.
Maybe it's not hungry right now.
So let me have you roll a wisdom check.
Sorry, I thought that rolled.
It would appear it's not hungry right now.
I
think
think I'll
it's
add up to 10 or something.
I think it's unlikely that he would turn down a warm meal, and I'll look over at the scorched body that Tinus left behind.
Maybe it likes killing its own stuff.
Didn't seem to be dissuaded by the blood-drained one that Tinus gave to it. I guess Doc would yell out then, "We're back with your other tribute. Come and take it from us so that we know that you are honored by our sacrifice."
Roll persuasion.
Oh, shit.
You have mind powers over dragons. That's kind of neat.
That it just likes well done food.
So you hear from the east a voice that kind of like comes out from just like indescript cover to the east, maybe about 40 or so feet from you. You can save my food. Your tribute has been accepted. They will be tasty in time.
What was the first thing he said? You can what? Art my food?
I think you can leave my food?
Sound like you said save, maybe leave.
Yeah, I thought it was save.
Yeah, I improv everything, so I have no clue. Leave, save, I think it's the same idea. Just leave it there, save it for me.
It wants us to leave the food.
Not reading off a script.
We wish to speak of you. I've a couple questions and some knowledge to share with you, and we've a little something else for you as well.
I think guess we should leave it.
You hear a voice from a different part of the swamp. As you hear it, what would you ask of me?
Same voice, just different area.
Yep.
We wish to know of the one you serve. We wish to pledge our
I
allegiance.
serve none.
Then perhaps it's you that we wish to pledge our allegiance to.
Your tributes are accepted.
We have traveled far and wide and found each other and come together in this place to find the powerful one of legend. It must be you then. You must be. What is your name?
Bane Breath. What legends have you heard of me?
We have heard of you in all your glory and your riches and your power, and that you are the chosen one to rule these lands, rule amongst the earth. We've come to join you.
Roll a deception check for me. Yes, legends speak of me. Wonderful. Rule this land.
So is it too dark to actually see where he's at right now?
It's definitely getting to the point where the swamp is certainly rather dark. There's a low fog in most of the areas over the water. And with the actual tree cover, it's hard to see much more than 30 or so feet. But at present, this conversation, you've seen nothing of the dragon at present.
Don't seem too enticed. Perhaps the tribute was enough. We can come back another time and we can bring our gift back when we do. Perhaps you'll be more inclined to accept it then. We were told that you dragons are enticed by riches.
Make an intimidation check.
I don't think you can intimidate a dragon.
Who has sent you? Where do you think you've learned of Bane Breath? Who do you think you are to my glory?
We were sent by no one. We heard tales of a dragon and traveled to an area in Greenest. That's where we met and heard of this mighty dragon and its power. It was a blue dragon. They told stories of it being the most powerful one, but we found that that was far from true. So when we heard of your existence, they spoke of the mighty black dragon in the swamp. We thought perhaps that you were the one. We traveled far to find you. It was not easy. We brought for you the gifts that we had intended to give to the blue dragon, but perhaps neither of you is intrigued by them.
You start to hear ruffling in the brush to the west of you. And it seems unclear what's happening. But as you kind of look off, it doesn't seem to be anything. There seems to be like brush kind of moving, but nothing in particular seems to be moving inside of it, and it's like kind of just at the edge of your vision that you're able to see at that point. Getting close to where it's just too dark to really make anything out. And then from nearly directly south of you, you hear something. You really don't know. This must be your first foray into the mirror. Can die here like the rest.
Know what? This is our first journey up north. We've not been this far. We've come far and wide, though. We seek the answer. The mightiest. Tell us what we don't know.
You start to hear a little bit of ruffling to the east of you, more to the west, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Three dragons?
So that is, I guess I can show you a little bit more of the peninsula. That like southeast edge of the peninsula is where you would have left the bodies. And you would have basically heard signs of this creature speaking to you from the east, from the south, and from the west. as far as you can tell, inside of the swamp at each time underwater, like coming up to the surface to speak, but otherwise listening from in the water. You guys can place yourselves how you'd like on the map at present, though.
So we can only hear it, not see it?
Yep, at present, what you're dealing with, you have only heard this thing speaking to you. You've not seen the dragon on this go about, and at present, you just see like brush kind of waving in the darkness.
Oh, nice initiative roll, Hadar.
But I didn't even want to start.
Well, he might be getting a surprise round on us. You might just be starting out of us.
Yeah.
All right, Hadar. At present, doesn't seem to be any opponents or anybody to fight. What are you doing?
I think I just stay there for the moment because I'm not sure. Looking around what's happening, just keeping my eyes out.
Can he only hold an action, or can you like hold your turn until after somebody else comes or something? How does that work? I can't remember. I know there's some special rule where you can like wait to take your turn or something.
No, there's no wait to take your turn. That's part of the bullshittery of how certain online gamers play shit, where they bend rules in ways that don't happen.
Okay, that's
You
not a real
can
rule.
save your reaction for a trigger, which is holding your action for a specific trigger. So if you hold it for the first creature that you see, you do X. But like it has to be a particular trigger. It's not the more general it is, the more likely it is to not happen because you're holding it for a particular thing. Like the first person to move into combat with me, or like the first hostile to move into combat with me, I'm going to attack. And you get one action, like using your reaction.
Well, would whatever if the well then I will hold my action for if the dragon comes out and attacks us. I'm gonna react it with that by throwing a radiant sunbolt at that one,
Alrighty.
and that would be the end of my turn then.
There seems to be movement from the east, and it will go to Doc.
Doc will just look back at the two of them and whisper, "Be ready. Stay on your guard. Stay spread out." Oh wait, you said the east?
Yeah, the movement that you would have just heard was from the east.
Okay, I think I can get to right there. And then I would like to. Is it just darkness that's black around us? Is that why we can't see? Like, if I light a torch, will that help us?
It's definitely dark. Having light would certainly help.
Okay, I would like to. I'm not sure if I can use that as my free interaction or if I use my action to do that, but I would like to pull out as many torches as I can and like kind of spread them out. Like, if I can do one, that's fine, and like maybe hold it or stab it into the ground. If I can do more than one, I would like to do that.
Yeah, like you could use your action to light a torch and stab it into the ground.
Okay, so I will pull out a torch and light it, and then I'll stab it into the ground, like basically like where I'm standing, like just on the edge of the water. So it's obviously not in the water, but a couple feet back.
And Vicious, what are you doing?
I'm waiting to see where it comes from. I was trying to spread out.
So you're doing nothing? That's all?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know where it's coming from, so I can't hit it.
Can you like hold a bonus action? Like, could just out of curiosity, Could, for instance, like Vicious hold her action to enter a rage if we get attacked? Or is that not a possibility? I don't know how holding an action for
It's really only an action, and it just doesn't translate.
Okay, I got you. I figured I would ask.
And it's going to go back around to Hadar. Seems to be a little bit more like light around Doc where he's lit the torch. You guys have a little bit better view of things. The fog in this swamp seems pretty thick. There seems to be movement to the east of you. The last place you heard the voice was to the south of you, but you've not heard anything.
Just gonna say though, guys, are you sure that we shouldn't get out of here? And then still hold my action from before. So if it comes out, if it attacks us, I'm gonna throw a radiant sunball at it.
And to Doc. Oh wait, my bad. Never mind. Out of the east, start to see signs of brush almost rolling across the water as it comes up out of the swamp and engulfs the torch on the ground, and it is going to attack out at Doc.
That doesn't look like a dragon. I can't tell where the head is. I mean, that's not a criticism. I just can't tell.
Definitely not a dragon.
It's not a dragon.
So a 21 should hit and a 10 should miss.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it will do 18 damage as it slams its massive vines and brush into you.
Okay, I'm gonna use a superiority die. Do you want me to re-roll that or just use it? It rolled a d20, but I mean it's only a 3. Like it was supposed to be a d8. Do you want me to roll a d8 or just keep the 3?
There's no reason to punish you for rolling the wrong die. Like, you can still roll 5 higher.
The
Works
dice
out
never
against
lie.
you. So reduce it by 5. I think it did 18, so 13 damage. And then it will go to you, Doc.
Okay, I will. So did it put out the fire? It put out the torch?
Yeah, like engulfed it and put it out.
And this is looking like a brushy plant matter type thing. Does it look like dry like it hates fire? Or does it look like juicy like it's out of a swamp?
It was like a little bit of a sizzle, but this thing seemed perfectly at home in the swamp.
Yeah, it's juicy. All right, I'm going to take a step back.
It's going to swing out at you, and I believe miss with a 12.
Does miss. And then I will. He'll just yell out, "Oh, vile creature, what are you?" And then I'm gonna shoot my bow at it twice. And then I will. I'm gonna step back a couple more. To right there.
And then it's going to go to Vicious.
All right. I am going to throw javelin at it. That looked good. Do I get to throw another javelin, or do I have to like run up and be in range first?
You can throw 2 javelins. But I believe you're at disadvantage at that distance.
Yeah, I can't quite tell. It says oh, okay, yeah, it says 30.
2060. Yep. So roll a d20 for me. Hadar, you are getting stabbed in the back by a javelin.
Oh, hell.
Thank you.
Oops. All right. And, yeah, I guess I'll,
So I guess take 7 damage, Hadar.
Yeah.
maybe he won't notice where that came from.
I believe I definitely noticed that this is a javelin and not whatever this monster uses.
Plus, it came from the wrong direction. Yeah.
Interesting move, Vicious. Before you were the apprentice, but now I see you've become the master.
He's got a big butt.
I have the feeling that Wishes is seriously trying to kill me.
I wasn't trying to kill you. Just,
Yeah, you were doing
not in the
it.
way.
You didn't try it. You were just literally doing it.
So maybe move up so you're not at disadvantage, or Hadar's not in the way before you throw the second one. Is it an action to remove her javelin from Hadar and then throw it again?
I don't see why you couldn't just be like, pardon me, I'm just gonna, and then pull it out.
And I'm sure that wouldn't hurt at all.
And a 12's gonna miss.
Aw, you like threw my aim off.
I think at that point you all would hear another rumbling from the northwest of you.
But before Vicious ends her turn, she wants the bonus action Rage, right?
Right. I wanna rage. Good idea.
I think we decided that you just don't have a class. You are not a barbarian.
You're clearly not.
Wow, these things travel in herds.
Fun fact about black dragons is they create shambling mounds. It's gonna reach out and touch you, Vicious.
Okay.
For a 20 to hit. For 6 damage.
Ah, I
And
laugh
then
at you. Hopefully
A
you don't.
25 to hit for 10 damage.
So 16 total, or did I on my rage successfully?
If you raged, Hadar takes 2 more damage, but you can take half.
Hadar, do you mind?
So Hadar can take 9, and you take 8 total.
Okay. Oh, and I had it set. Apparently, I had 45 left. I mean, I was down some from last time because we beat each other up. That's what happened.
Yep. I was actually curious how much I could get you guys to beat yourselves up, because the dragon was already watching you at that time. And as it hits you with its second, like pseudopod of vines and brush, Vicious is sucked into the shambling mound.
That doesn't sound good.
You are engulfed. You are blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe.
Yeah, that really doesn't sound good. So I guess you hear a cry and it's abruptly cut off because I can no longer breathe.
Hadar, what are you doing?
Can I try to free wishes by? I mean, I'm just gonna try to attack it, the one there, with my quarterstaff double-handed, 14 to hit.
14 misses.
Then I'm gonna try again,
22 hits.
22, and I'm gonna apply my stunning strike for that. Then give me a second. DC of 13 for a con saving throw.
Seems unaffected by the stunning strike.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna use my bonus action, and I'm gonna punch it with an unarmed strike. $19 to hit.
19 hits.
And afterwards, as guys, I think we should get away from here. But that would be the end of the turn.
Ah, yes, Hadar. Food and running away.
I mean, I was preferred to run away from the beginning, but I'm gonna give it my all to save everyone. You will not let me run away.
Next Shambling Mound is going to reach out and try to grab at Hadar. 18 to hit for 15 damage.
Yeah.
And 16 to hit for 17 damage.
And I'm down.
Dear Lord.
Well, I think Doc should run away, and the other two of us should make new characters.
Wait, how are
How
you
much
down on those first 2 hits?
Me?
Yeah, you have 45 hit points.
Yeah, but wait. Oh, I didn't. The token in the was wrong in the game, and I only saw it 38 and used it. I forgot. Wait, then it was 15 and 17 plus 9. Should be left with 4 points then.
I think you've taken 37 total. So you're low, but I think you should still be at 8 points.
Yeah, I should definitely be alive. Still, all right. It's one good thing.
And then it's going to go to Doc.
Do I know if I can attempt to pull Vicious out of that thing, or if I have to kill it to get her like free?
You can use your action to try to pull her out. But that's kind of where you're at. You either try to kill it or you try to pull her out.
How long can I last in there? I mean, I assume I can break out on a strength check.
Yeah, you have a chance to escape at the... I think it's your action on your turn to try to escape for a strength check. And then you can last inside of there, like not being able to breathe wise. I believe it is... damn, I think it's like a D6 plus your constitution or something.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm not going to help you out right now. I'm going to attack instead. So I will attack I guess I'll attack the one that's... didn't Hadar damage the other one?
I believe the one that has Vicious is the only one that's taken damage.
Okay, I'm going to attack that one.
This is where you hit me instead of it.
24 hits.
Can I use drop and try to make it drop Vicious?
She's not a weapon. She's like inside of it. She's not really being held.
Previous to digestion.
You're not entirely sure that there's a stomach to digest you?
Why'd it grab me then?
might just be kind of like a food processor, and it's gonna grind you.
Oh, yay.
And then I'm gonna move back to over here.
All right, word. So off the edge of the actual like landmass is actually difficult terrain. I don't think you really moved that far, but it depends on how you moved around the shambling mound there.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to stay out of its like actual range to get opportunity attacks.
Yeah, so I think it has like the landmass covered, so you'd be limited to moving like 3 spaces. And then Vicious, from inside of the shambling mound, you can make a effort to try to escape. You are able to break out.
Do I move or am I stuck there?
Yeah, more or less that you move like just outside of its space.
So is that my whole action or can I beat up on it?
Nope, that was your action.
I am angry now, just in case you wondered.
It is going to reach back out for Vicious and do 15, so 7 damage. And then I believe a 12 misses.
Yeah, 15 armor class.
And then it will go to Hadar.
Well, ho-
I don't think I did the 9 from Doc hitting it. My bad. There you go. It's all you, Hadar.
so how's this thing looking? Is it looking any damaged or is it looking good?
Looks a lot like a bush.
Still the bush. All right. So, well, I'm gonna use my action to attack it with my quarter staff again.
26 hits.
Yeah, and I'm gonna apply my stunning strike to it. It was a con save of 13.
It's going to fail that one. It's going to all of a sudden shiver to a standstill.
Right. Well, then I'm gonna continue to attack it with my stick. Well, two-handed for
24
for
hits. 26 hits.
yeah, 6 damage. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to do a flurry of blows.
Both of those will hit for 11 more.
Yeah, and that would be the end of my turn then.
The other is going to reach out for Vicious. 26 will hit for 11, so 5. And 13 will miss. So we'll go to Doc.
All right, I'm going to dagger the one that Hadar stunned. Oh wait, how does that work again? If it's stunned, do you get advantage only in melee, or is that any attacks?
I
Anything.
believe it's advantage on all. It's prone where it's advantage in melee, but disadvantage at range.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna dagger it. 13. Will that hit?
13 misses.
There.
And I guess I'll do a. I'm gonna add a D8 to it.
17 will hit.
And then one more. Yeah, I don't know. Is that one gonna hit 14?
14 just misses.
I'll just move to right there.
And that one's right about the point where you see that there are more branches falling off from it than there are still like kind of held on. And it will go to Vicious.
Okay, so I guess I will just try and hit it. Because what else am I gonna do? Oh, the one that ate me or didn't grabbed me.
You could dive into it if you wanted to.
Is that a suggested thing or a really bad idea like it seems?
Oh, you just said what else could I do?
Oh, okay.
"19 hits for 15 damage.
All right, so then I'll do that again.
24 hits for 10.
Aha!
And 6 lightning damage. Right? That's lightning damage? Or is it thunder damage?
It's probably lightning, but let me check.
Electric drool.
As your rage of the sea strikes into the creature, it almost seems as if it has an opposite effect, and the creature seems to root into the ground and draw up more of the foliage from all around you and seem to replenish itself.
Great. It's a tree that likes lightning.
And it's still stunned, so we'll go to Hadar.
Well, I'm going to attack it again. With 2 hands before. Yeah.
22 hits.
Gonna do the same thing again.
22 hits.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action again and do a flurry of blows.
All right, I'm just really curious here. Is there a reason you're not applying Stunning Strike? You're almost dead. Like, any more damage to you and you die. Why are you flurrying of blows when you could be stunning these things?
Well, I was hoping that it dies after that.
No. So you can flurry of blows, but you're probably gonna die.
If you give me the
Nope, you're flurrying
opportunity
of
to,
blows
all right,
because you're
then I'm
hoping that
going
it's gonna
for a
die.
blow.
So let's see if you can kill
Yeah.
it. 23 hits and 23 hits.
Gave it my all.
The next one is going to attack Hadar with a fucking 6 damage on a 26 to hit and 10 damage on a 22 to hit.
But I'm down then.
So Hadar is down and engulfed by the creature as it sucks him inside of it. And then the other one is super low on hit points. It looks quite rough, but it will go to Doc.
So wait, were all the attacks so far on the single one that's damaged, or
Yep.
was that against the other one this time?
Everything was against the one that's damaged, and it's close to death.
The one that got better once I lightninged it.
Yep. You probably healed about half of the life that it has.
Okay, and is it still stunned until its turn, or is that until the end of his turn, or how
The
did
end
that
of
work?
Hadar's turn. Like, it already had the
Okay, so
turn where it was stunned.
Okay, I'm gonna attack it again with the dagger. Wait, you said it's extremely low, or very somewhat low?
Yeah, it's looking quite rough.
Okay, I'm gonna just attack it. Still think I would need to hit it at least.
Roll an intelligence check. It's hard to tell what you're gonna take to kill it.
Right, I feel you. Feel like I know that it was a. All right, I'm gonna not sharpshooter and just attack it regular.
22 hits, and that does some of its life, but it's still rough.
Okay. Oh my bad. All right, I'll just attack it again then. So I'll just add a superiority die to hit then. Oh my god.
Yeah, 14 just misses.
Yeah, I was gonna add the superiority die to the first one before you like said
Damage
that.
wise, you can still add that one. My
Well,
bad.
it's not gonna make a difference anyway because I don't think it would have killed it.
It wouldn't have. No.
So it'd be 4 more.
This is where you would know that that superiority die is your chance to be able to kill it. Seven's gonna leave it just hanging on to life. So Vicious. You are staring down these two things. You would have seen Hadar's body fall. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll finish off the first one because it seems stupid to leave it up. But I am not going to do the rage thing, the lightning attack,
Excellent.
because that seemed like a stupid idea.
19 hits, and that will kill it.
All right, so then I'll go after the other one because, like you said, I should wait to see.
17 will hit for 15 damage.
Can I see Hadar?
No, Hadar is engulfed in the creature. I mean, it's like the type of thing where, like, if you want to try to pull him out, part of what the check represents is you, like, reaching into the creature and hoping that what you grab is actually Hadar.
Okay. First we kill it.
So, let's see. Hadar, can you click to whisper me a death saving throw?
1 second. How did I do that? How do I whisper? I
Like
never
the little
whispered
red
before.
die at the top of the tabletop should set it to whisper, and then you just go into your actual hit points, and you can click the death save. That way you get to still roll, but it still keeps it secret from everyone else.
Seriously, not seeing what I have to change. Wait.
Oh, where the Beyond 20 die. Got the B on it. Next to your name.
Oh wait, I just spam clicked something and it didn't give me it.
All right, you do actually get up inside of it, though. You will have a single hit point inside of the shambling mound.
Man. I'm so happy about that.
And don't worry, it's not going to last.
Yeah, but at least there's hope for me at the moment.
You're definitely not immediately dead.
Yeah. And I got some more time to figure out how I whisper that.
Like in the
Okay, so
top right,
like,
the little red die, you should be able to click it to essentially either query whisper or always whisper, and then you just switch it back afterwards.
Oh yeah, okay. I got it.
All right, so start of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Alrighty. You will pass and not take damage.
I'm giving it my all.
It's a learning experience. You are the battlefield control in this group. If you spam Stunning Strike against all of your opponents, they don't take turns, and you guys can go off on them. It's better than Flurry of Blows.
Yeah, I was too optimistic in killing it in that turn. But next time I will do better. If I get it next time.
So it's going to attack at Vicious. A 22 to hit. It's going to do 14. So you'll take 7. And then a 14 is going to miss. And we'll go to Doc.
All right, I'm going to attack it. I'm going to use any free interactions I can to retrieve daggers. I still have plenty left, so it's probably not a big deal, but
Yeah, it's just that you could pull. Realistically, I think we decided it's your free interaction to draw your daggers. You can collect things
I thought
after
you
the
had me
fight.
take that. I thought you had me take that skill, so I didn't have to worry about that.
But I think that's what the skill does, is it lets you draw as many daggers as you need with your free interactions. With your free interaction.
19. Oh yeah, I still have like 10 or 15 left. I'd have to look.
So, like, you don't even wear armor. You just have metal all around.
Yeah, you can draw or stow 2 one-handed weapons when you would normally be able to draw or stow only one. So 17 with the first one.
And then I'm gonna actually run up to it. Oh wait, is Hadar dead? No, he's just not in the turn order.
He should still be in there.
Well, I don't see him.
I'm gonna run up like into its range, not where Hadar's standing, but just up there, and then I'm gonna take a step back and proc its opportunity. Or wait, is he after me? I guess I. Does it matter?
What are you going for here?
Oh, I was just hoping to like take its opportunity attack so that when he goes, he can move out without getting attacked by it to try to help him.
Like,
Because I
if
know
he
he's low on hit points.
escapes from it, he just like pops out of it. It doesn't get an opportunity attack unless he leaves its combat range.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, I don't believe there's any strategic reason for you to try to get attacked here.
Okay, I got you. I guess as long as he's still like grappled by it or whatever, it doesn't matter. So I was just thinking it would get like an opportunity attack on him when he like came out of it if he like breaks free. But I guess if he doesn't leave its range, it won't matter. So that's it for my turn.
And then we'll go to Vicious.
Hadar, we're coming to get you. Maybe.
10 misses. And a 20 will hit for 17.
Well,
And then Hadar, make a strength check, trying to break out of it.
we got food for you on the outside here.
Can't hear that.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Hadar. And you've got 1 hit point, so you will go unconscious again.
Bye.
It's going to reach out and attack Doc. 15 to hit for 13 damage.
So I have 16 now.
And then 23 to hit for 13 damage. And we'll go to Doc.
13.
Yeah, 13.
Okay, I'm gonna attack it again. Don't worry, hey dog, we're gonna get you out of there, buddy.
All of those are gonna miss.
All of them miss. Why?
You're at disadvantage if you're in combat.
Oh, I'm not in combat. I'm moving away from it, like I always do every time. Sorry, I'm in the middle of painting, so I didn't realize you actually moved it.
It's going to miss as it strikes out from you.
Yeah, so I should hit it with the 2, the 17 and 18.
Yeah, it'll be about that halfway mark, and it'll go to Vicious.
Yeah, that's my fault. I didn't even look up at the second screen.
All right, so this thing is still not exactly standing, but kind of there. Does that hit?
It does not.
I didn't think so. Aw.
Another miss.
All right, Hadar, we are coming get you.
Hadar, whisper me a death saving throw. Roll a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage, Hadar.
Oh, I forgot I'm whispering everything right now.
Yeah, that works. So lose 2 death saving throws. And it will go to Doc.
Doc will yell out, "Vicious, use your reckless attack to try and kill it, or rip Hadar out of there."
Okay. Forgot about that one. Not a shock.
Looking at it, is it looking pretty beat up, or is it still looking pretty luscious?
Last turn, you all would have taken it down below half. So it's starting to look rough.
And if I stabilize Hadar, does he have to take that? No, I'm just gonna attack it.
Yeah, you guys don't know that he lost those 2 death saving throws.
Yeah, it makes sense.
15 hits,
I'm gonna put a luck on that one.
19 hits. At the end of your turn there, Doc, it'll go to
Oh
Vicious.
yeah, my bad. I was marking off all my stuff.
Are you there, Jamie?
Oh yeah, sorry. Am I supposed to be doing something? I didn't realize it was my turn.
It's on you. Do you want to go reckless?
Sure. I'll do the thing. It was recommended. Makes sense.
24 hits for 14.
Oh yeah, much better than 10. It's still there.
It's holding on with the last shreds of its being. You're starting to see signs. And it just so happened to have exactly 11 hit points left as you smash into it, and the corpse of Hadar kind of rolls to the ground.
Okay, so we're out of combat?
Well, no. Because this is where it matters that Hadar lost 2 death saving throws. Hadar, you don't have to whisper this, but roll a death saving throw.
1 second.
See if we can
'Cause
continue the streak that the dice just absolutely hate Jan.
Yeah, yeah. They said
Are you
no.
fucking kidding me? You have inspiration though, don't you? That's a perfect time to roll an inspiration.
Well, I still, yeah, I
Yep,
still have
get
it.
rid of that inspiration and roll anything that's not a 9 or lower. There you go.
70.
Roll the 1.
Yep. Like I said, the
Oh my
dice
God.
absolutely love to kill Jan. That's something amazing. So yeah, now you all are out of combat, and essentially the 2 of you can stabilize him with no problem there.
Yeah, band-aids.
Can't believe that Hader survived for such a long time.
What do you mean, Ada? You were never in any real danger.
1d6 plus 4 plus your level.
Yes, you can take 15 hit points.
Thank you, Wishes. That makes up for the little damage you've done to me before. But should we get out of here, or should we stay? I mean,
I think we should leave.
Yeah, I guess as we leave, Doc will yell out, uh,
are you thinking,
Not
or
good to
did you
taunt
cut
it.
Yeah.
oh, my bad. I was like opening my notes so I could get the dragon's name. He'll yell out, well, Bane Breath, if I thought we weren't friends, I just don't think I could bear it. We'll still be back tomorrow with another offering for you. And then we'll like scurry away or whatever.
Let me have you all do history checks. In my hindsight, you all are vaguely aware that there actually is an ancient black dragon who's known to have made the Mirror of Dead Men its home. And perhaps the way you were trying to persuade Bane Breath failed because the dragon knew that you were clearly not speaking about it if you were telling the truth.
Oh shit! So it thought we were confusing it with another more badass black dragon.
Indeed. Well, yeah, that's where your negotiations fell apart, is you went like too deep in catering to its vanity, and it was like, yep, you're clearly not talking about me.
Well, seeing as how we almost died to Shambling Mounds, I don't know if we could have fought a dragon and Shambling Mounds, so probably worked out for the better.
Not like I said before that we couldn't fight a dragon, so I'm happy that we're still alive.
Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up on that. They're roughly the same CR combat-wise. The single dragon versus those two Shambling Mounds.
Yeah, but didn't you say the dragon can summon Shambling Mounds?
Well, like, black dragons can create Shambling Mounds. It's not necessarily a part of the actual, like, characteristics of the dragon, like, inside of combat that it creates Shambling Mounds. But
I get what you're saying.
part of the blight that that black dragons like create around them is essentially bringing the swamp to life, and that's usually in the form of Shambling Mounds.
I got you. I thought the dragon like summoned those to like wear us down before it tried to attack us.
No, that was it intelligently testing to see what your mettle was.
Well, hopefully I convinced him with the friends thing.
I'm sure it worked. So what have you all got in mind for as you leave this area of the swamp?
I would like to gather up all my daggers and I will cut the head off of the Shambling Mound, aka I'll take a little thorn bush piece from it and I'll wrap it around my head like a Jesus crown.
Do an investigation and then a medicine check.
gonna return the javelin to Wishes.
She pulled that out of your back earlier and threw it again. Yeah, you can collect some of the like swampy briars of the Shambling Mound.
Does it look like it's from a creature or does it just look like I have a twig on my head?
It more or less looks like there's a twig on your head.
I think this should prove when we get back into town that these creatures here were what killed those missing people that Tinus ate.
Well, I mean, you look like a druid, I would say, but let's go.
Tinus like takes one of the bodies and he like drags it back towards the road construction area and leaves it there.
Is that a good idea, Tinus? Which body was it? The one that you
The
shot with the
shambling
crossbow?
mound, my bad, not like the human bodies, but like one
Oh,
of the
okay,
dead
okay.
shambling mounds, like just the cluster of like vines and what was once living plants.
I suppose that's not a bad idea. How heavy is this thing? Like, could we drag it back to camp, or is that like a hell of a thing? So I feel like we're hours away.
I think shambling mounds would probably weigh 100+ pounds. They're pretty heavy. They're pretty massive creatures.
Is there like a part of it that would be recognizable as like a living thing as opposed to just like a bush?
That was part of what your medicine check was. It's not really a like creature of that sort. It's amorphous.
Okay, I got you. So we'll just have to hope that the alibi works. And then did I find all my daggers and my 2 arrows?
You can collect half of them back. The others you're pretty sure seem to have kind of like missed into the swamp, basically. And I mean, as always, it doesn't have to be like a perfect count. Just like a rough idea is perfectly functional. So more or less planning on heading back to the Karnath Roadhouse.
Yes, perhaps we should get our story clear on the way back here as we walk. It's a way of a journey. Gonna want to know where you came from, Hadar, and some of the people have already recognized us from the caravan. So I suggest that we just tell them that you were looking for us and were able to find us, but you're gonna have to come up with an alibi as to what happened to those workers. Not sure about those bushes and how far they wander in normally, but I suppose we'll just say that when we were walking back that they had attacked the workers and were dragging them into the swamp, and we were able to kill them.
I believe it could just. I think it's not anything particular. People I talked with monsters out here, so I think it's really plausible if we tell them that they got killed by those things, and we killed those things in return.
Did it seem feasible that like those things were able to like walk out of the swamp area? Like they didn't seem like rooted in the ground, did they?
Not at all. They were definitely not rooted. And overall, I was basically going to play it as if Hadar was there the whole time.
Oh,
So you don't necessarily have to explain him.
Okay, so I guess the real alibi is just that the guard and the 2 workers got killed by the shambling mounds, and that we killed them but couldn't save the guards. Maybe there was more shambling mounds and they dragged their bodies into the swamp, but we fled with our lives.
Yeah, we just we fought them back, but we couldn't save everyone.
Yeah, so
I mean-
now, like, the bodies are not where they were killed at. They are still next to the swamp. So Tinus would suggest maybe we just say that we encountered the shambling mounds as they were dragging away the last of the bodies, and we killed this one.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Titus is coming up with the good ideas. Yeah, let's go for that then.
Now that Tinus's like spell has faded, does he go back to looking normal again? Is he still like all pale? Does he have protruding
He's still
fangs?
pale and exhausted. like the sub race that I created for him, he can't get rid of exhaustion without feeding. So this night will be one of the first times that he's both like satiated and able to clear the exhaustion from not feeding for a 10-day or for 5 days.
Okay, I got you.
But he would offer, like, if you all want to leave the bodies there, we can move them back, but depending on our story, we can let the Shambling Mounds, having taken the others into the swamp.
No, I think it makes sense that those creatures were dragging them away into the swamp, and we just sort of stumbled upon them, but they were already dead by the time we got there, and we were unable to stop the creatures from dragging away the bodies.
So if you all are ready to head back to the Karnath Roadhouse, you arrive back well into the evening, well past dark. There's some activity still in the Roadhouse as you get back there, but predominantly it seems that most people are done eating. There's still like a little bit of happenings in the mess hall, and there's plenty of people who seem to be kind of making merry across the like upper levels over like the banisters, and somewhat keeping like their rooms open at present.
It may not be relevant, but I do want to sneak in one more thing about our alibi. Um, if anybody should ask and we should get in depth with this conversation, I say we leave out the dragon completely. One, and two, that Tanis did shoot a fireball, but that the like at the shambling mound to try to like stop them. So if somebody should find the body, if it's still there, and it appears to be like charred or anything, that it's clear that there was a fireball used. So it doesn't look like we just murdered him. But yeah, probably like overly cautious, but just in case they like sent out a search party or something like that and the body was like still there, but it was charred. So it would like actually make sense.
So any thoughts as you all arrive back at the Roadhouse?
Well, we should see if they're still serving chow. I'd rather not just be eating rations tonight, but we can if we need to.
Man, this token in the bottom left looks hilarious.
So I guess we'll like head upstairs, or I will, to the chow area and see if they're still, see if my man's still up there.
Gristle Pete's like finishing up the last like bits of cleaning up. There's still like a group of people who are like playing cards on one of the tables that's still like in the bottom left corner. But overall, he seems like he's cleaned most of it up, and he kind of like looks up to you all. Is everybody going up for food?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am.
I'm definitely going up for food.
Yeah, that's a dumb question. Gristle Pete, you mind slapping a little bit of that there yuck that you got on a couple plates for us? Make it worth your while.
Oh, excellent. It's we thought we lost you all today.
You damn near did. Wasn't sure if we were going to make it back ourselves, to tell you the truth. So better to have a extra meal now than a last meal yesterday.
So Gristle Pete looks pretty exhausted as he kind of like takes a moment to like set down one of the larger table, or one of the tables like towards the north end where he normally has the quote unquote buffet set up. He pulls out the bin of leftovers and slowly lifts it up onto the table And he kind of like smirks a little bit and he says, we've just got the vegetarian left for this evening. I hope nobody minds that. But if you've got your plates, we can certainly set you up here.
Of course, I'm pretty sure there's no difference, but that's just as fine, my friend.
So he sets you all up with like a little slop of food and looks like around to the group that's still there and just kind of like hollers over to him. Y'all clearing out anytime soon, or do I need to drop another table here? And they kind of like give him like a little nod and kind of like wave him away. So he'll take a moment to like drag one of the tables off the wall and kind of reset it up with like a single bench. So you all can like sit down and enjoy yourselves.
And Doc will flip him a couple silver and say, after today's little adventure, we're going to need another round of those drinks.
Sounds downright wonderful, actually. And he'll kind of like walk back to the corner, kind of clean up that last little bit of table and set the leftovers back down onto the ground. And he'll grab one of the, I think it was like a gallon jug. And he'll kind of like come over with this large jug of green looking liquid and sit down at the end of the table on the end of the bench and pull out like a little glass, or rather like a little wooden like shot glass of his own, and pour himself a little bit and then just set the jug down near you all. What kept you this evening?
One might say that we got stuck in the bushes.
Well, yeah. Y'all don't look terribly well, but certainly seem to have made it home safe.
Goddamn swamp tried to eat us. Some shit I'd never seen before.
Rats? Rats. Ugh.
I didn't see any rats out there. Some kind of crazy ass plant creature. A few of them.
Oh, really? A giant plant? You don't say.
Yeah, they were scurrying off with a couple of bodies when we came upon them, but we made it out of there. But can't say the same for whatever ended up their dinner.
Let me have you roll a deception with advantage.
Was there any talk before we got back? I assume you guys had
Huh?
written us off.
I think the crew lost quite a few today, so I don't even know if they really quite noticed. Another 7 missing. I'm not entirely sure they would have really noticed that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Probably wouldn't have cared if they did notice anyway, but I'll tell you one thing, we're glad to be back here today, and it was probably the best walk back we've had just yet, because makes you appreciate actually being able to make it after those goddamn things.
What kind of creature? Plants? What do they look like?
I don't know. Have you guys ever seen anything like that before? I'll say that to Jan and Vicious.
No.
Jamie, I'm not sure if your speaker is just open or if you are trying to talk, but I hear nothing from you right now. So Gristle Pete just starts to kind of like rant on and on. He doesn't seem to be speaking about the plants themselves, but he seems to just be kind of going on just kind of like off on a tangent as he just enjoys some of the drink with you all.
Do we recognize any of the people that are like up gambling or playing cards or whatever?
Do a perception check. Seems to just be like a general group of workers, and they just seem to be like utilizing the table at present.
And when we got back, did we see Bogluck or anything? Or
You
Larian?
probably would have seen Bogluck at some point in all this, perhaps like going to his room sort of thing, and probably the same thing for Larian.
Okay, but they didn't seem like particularly alarmed that anybody came back. It looks like everything's just kind of brushed under the rug, sort of like out of sight, out of mind with the people missing.
Yeah, like overall, it's regular for people to go missing here.
All right, cool. So the alibi worked, or no one even cared, so we didn't need an alibi. Don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling like it'd be nice to lay my head down, hang it up for the evening, get a little rest.
Stress, yeah. Oh man, fucking rats.
Yep, damn rats! I could tell you've had an experience with them.
Just don't ever quit. I just all through the night, I just hear them in the floorboards everywhere. It just seems creaking, groaning, scraping, and fucking rats.
Oh, I thought you meant the giant fire-breathing swamp rats, not just regular rats.
Well, you know, I do feel like they might be just giant. The fire breathing. No, 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 no. This place is quite flammable. Got a good bit of pitch here. If they were fire, oh no, man, that'd be real bad.
So Doc will just drink the rest of his drink and then call it a night. I took 2 silver off. Is that what it was last time for the booth?
I might have it in my notes, but pretty much as always, I really don't care about those little things.
Okay, I feel like it was 2 silver, so I marked that off. But
Overall, the economy in D&D only exists 4 players, so yeah, it was 2 silver. Does anybody else have anything that they wanted to accomplish on this evening?
No, nothing. Yeah, do not have anything specific.
So, in general, I think after you all kind of clean up, you would see Gristle Pete kind of take the last few moments to kind of gather things together and kind of close up the actual shop. And he ends up kicking the others out around the same time. You all can get a long rest in there. Basically, we can kind of fast forward, depending on what you all want to accomplish, into the next day. I gather Jamie has already left.
yeah, I thought she might have went to her meeting. I can't remember. If she said it was 3 or 4
Well,
exactly.
she said 3:50 to me, but I don't know if that just means the moment that fight was over, she seemed to have ducked out.
She's writing something.
So in the morning, I think probably Doc would talk to Hadar and Hey, I think that we could probably get the lowdown on some poison and maybe try to discreetly get a hold of some. I'm just not sure what our excuse would be.
I mean, we could probably say that we want to hunt some monster.
Yeah, maybe we can just say that we want to have it nearby just in case, leaving out like some poisoned rations or something like that in case the creatures come out of the swamp. I don't know. I'm not sure anybody would even give a damn. I just think for the amount that we'd be trying to get, it may look a little suspicious, but
Let me have the two of you roll an intelligence check. You guys think acquiring poison will be a great idea.
Perfect. So, you think that's just is there some kind of you probably know if it's a hunter in this group or something, someone who looks like who could sell poison?
pretty sure that pretty sure Bogluck is the store down here, so probably anything's gonna have to go through him. But you know, Gristle Pete kept talking about those rats, and everybody knows a good way to kill rats is poison or a trap. So I wonder if maybe we could get something out of him.
And I mean, yeah, at least if it doesn't have some, we can just throw it at Bulgar as a. I mean,
So I guess like when we get in breakfast line or whatever, I would tell Gristle Pete I need to talk to him after he's done serving everybody up. Yeah, I've got a special request for you. If I could have a word when you're not busy.
I'll have a good bit of cleaning up here after the meal, but most certainly.
So yeah, I guess like once we're done eating or whatever, I would kind of like mosey on over and try to talk to him about it.
Right, overall, over breakfast, there seems to be a good many empty seats, whereas this cafeteria seemed certainly a little bit more filled after you all had arrived. But you all can certainly wait around and get a chance to speak with Gristle Pete.
Hey Pete, you were talking about those rats last night and kind of give me a good idea.
Fucking
Um,
rats can't get a wink of sleep all through the
right,
night.
exactly. That's what had me thinking. I couldn't sleep. I was up thinking. What do you use to kill those? You got some poison or something you leave out to take care of them?
Oh, no, they're in the storage room. Odd Luck's the only one with the lock there. I have not much that I can do for them.
For the rats or the poison, you mean?
For the rats, they're in the storage room.
Oh, you guys ever try to like poison them or anything? And try to kill them?
Well, they don't ever seem to come up here.
Gotcha. So, would you happen to know where we could get some poison? Got anything?
I've heard people tell me that the orc mash is pretty vile stuff. But you've been drinking that like it's something nothing. So I don't know if that's right. The poison.
Not at all what we had in mind. We were more thinking if we kind of left some stuff around us, sort of a perimeter with some not so savory poison in there or whatever, just in case these creatures come back, that they might, find their way into that instead of eating us.
I don't rightly know what would poison a rat and kill a plant.
It's probably not the best idea.
well, I mean, we could ask. Still, it's Bulgar. He has some.
It's worth a shot there. And then I guess we would say goodbye to Gristle Pete, and then I would kind of just talk to Hadar. Not sure how far we could trust Bogluck. think he might suspect something if we tried to get some poison from him.
Yeah, it probably could be the case, but I mean, you just need probably should wait with that and until we come up with a valid reason that we need poison or set something up. Don't know.
Sort of like the idea of what we were saying, basically, that we wanted to leave around some like poisoned meat or whatever in case those creatures attacked again. But I suspect he probably knows that there's a out there, and if we were trying to get a large amount, that might suspect what we were going to use it for.
Well, I mean, could be the case that he knows about the dragon, but it could also be that he doesn't know. But I mean, I felt like that dragon should be around for a while now, so you should probably know about it.
I think he's in cahoots with it. I'm pretty sure he sent us to that specific spot, assuming that we would get eaten by that thing, or at least that we'd get eaten. But it seemed like that dragon had been, had offerings before. So unless there's a random cult civilization around here somewhere that's not affiliated with this camp, seems more likely that they're sending people from this camp up there to get eaten specifically by that creature.
Well, I mean, it would be great if we had a way to find out if he's really in cahoots with this creature. Make sure, and if he is, we could probably get some information out of him.
Oh, if we start asking too many questions, may find ourselves at the end of a short rope.
Well, yeah. I didn't mean to ask them directly.
You all fancy yourselves still at the roadhouse?
Oh, I don't even know. I figured we were either
You would have
just
waited
sort of
around
like
till
at it.
after breakfast to speak with Pete.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, whatever we were imagining, like us walking to the spot or just being like by our bunks. I don't, just somewhere kind of like privately.
Which is it? Are you in the roadhouse or did you start going to your work site?
I guess we'd be on our way to the work site, really. If there's no reason for us to hang around. We weren't planning on hanging around to talk to Bogluck or anything in specific. Is that what you were thinking, yeah?
Yeah, I think you came to me that we wanted to go after we talked to the other guy.
Yeah, I guess that would just be our like kind of like walk into the swamp or whatever.
So shortly after leaving the roadhouse, you would see Solomon kind of like along the trail. Seems to just have like a clutter of his tools like across the ground. Seems to just be kind of like gathering them up. But as he spots you all, he kind of like walks back to you all. What have you all been? What's been happening with you all?
What do you mean? What have you heard?
Well, I noticed last night you all didn't return, and then I see you here. Heard some people talking about 3 people went missing last night on your patrol. Patrol is the
Yeah, we
wrong
came.
word there. Like 3 people went missing, and y'all were able to kill some plants.
Yeah, we came in late. Got attacked last night near the end of our shift or whatever you want to call it that we're out there doing. Nearly cost us our lives. Starting to think that they sent us to that spot, hoping we wouldn't come back, or maybe even knowing.
hard to tell what's going on here, but I think by now all of the people who I was suspecting of being occultists has disappeared already. Don't rightly think that makes sense unless there's something else going on. Most of them seem to be disappearing in the night. I've heard mighty many people go missing on them scouting missions, moving forward and clearing the paths and all. But not too many other people are actually going missing while they're working. Seems to be happening in the roadhouse.
Yes, there's definitely something strange going on here. I think we can trust Larry, and I don't think he's in on it, but I think Bogluck's in on some kind of, I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure he's involved with the Dragon Cult. When Tanis was working on that first day, he was carrying a crate and it broke open, and he said it was filled with personal items, the type of things that you wouldn't just give away or misplace or whatever. And Bogluck seemed to just play it off like it was nothing, but Larian seemed a little less comfortable with it. Seemed almost like people's personal effects, whether they were stolen because they were valuable or just left over after they died. I'm not sure, but definitely had us thinking.
All those crates were packed in water deep at the High Road Trading Company. As far as I could tell, all of the cult wagons went straight to their warehouse. Not sure how much we can trust Larian, but I am aware he used to be a guard for Dagalt. So perhaps he's on the up and up.
Makes even less sense. If those crates were packed in water deep, why would they be bringing people's personal effects here? It's not like they'd have even gone missing. So it seems more like they're bringing them up here so nobody would suspect it if they tried to sell them or whatever. Like, if you killed somebody and took their valuables, you wouldn't want to just take it down to the local shop and sell it because people might be asking questions. But brought it up here to a place like this, send it off in any direction, nobody'd think a thing about it.
There ain't nothing going anywhere else. It's coming here for the road construction, and then the wagons head back to Water Deep in the next few days here. And they don't go back with anything. They go back empty.
Exactly. So what if Daggle's having them bring it all up here and then he's using those personal items, those valuables to fund the cult? There's something going on behind closed doors. Maybe those people that are going missing aren't being killed. Maybe they're being recruited.
If the cult had the open lore to Water Deep, they wouldn't have anything to hide.
Sure about that? Think they would just openly act if I mean, he's contracted still by other lords and he can't just do whatever he pleases and worship dragons and be part of the cult. He still has to keep a low profile. No?
Commands all of Water Deep and Neverwinter. He's got Force Grey as much as the loyalty of the Lord's Alliance as well. Baldur's Gate couldn't stand up to him, even if the whole Lord's Alliance disintegrated. I just don't believe. I don't believe Daggle could be a part of this. Whatever's happening here, this is a ploy that's using it as cover. Road's still getting built.
What about Bogluck then? Could he be operating on his own without Daggalt knowing about it? Perhaps he's part of the cult and he's still getting the road done, but using it as an alibi.
I don't rightly think Daggalt pays any attention to the charter company. I think once he created the charter, I'm pretty sure that was the last of what Daggalt cared about this place. I have a feeling you might be right that fog luck is the problem in this here place.
Right? And as long as the road's getting built, nobody thinks a thing or two about it. They just assume that the people are disappearing, off working, when in fact they're being stolen away for sacrifices or recruited to the cult. They're funding it with all these valuables that they're bringing in from Waterdeep. And from what we know, there's a black dragon that constructed the mirror, whatchamacallit there. Well, maybe that's the one, the powerful one that they're all worshiping and bringing these valuables to. Your guess is as good as mine, but I know we're like a fish out of water here. Hey, what are you doing out here with your tools spread all over in the middle of nowhere?
A reason to drop away from the crew. Seems like they've lost, I think it was 7 men last 2 days. And I think those 3 that you all actually saw would have been 10.
So were you waiting to talk to us, or you were just trying to get your distance from them for your own safety?
No, saw you all at breakfast, and it would be a right good time to actually stop to speak with you.
Let me ask you this, Solomon. Have you actually seen anyone get killed out here by any creatures or anything? Did you notice when these people went missing in the night? Like, did they go missing right in front of anybody? Did you see anyone stirring in the evening?
Last evening, I thought I saw a few lizard folk staring off, watching us while we were cleaning up. But I haven't seen any sign of any danger coming from that swamp since we've been out here working. Our work's been going pretty much unabashed. There's been nobody trying to stop us. The swamp.
Lizard folk, you say? How would they even get into the fortress? It's gated off, and there's seems like the safest place that there could be. I would think that there'd be some kind of alarm, or someone would notice if they came inside or got the gate open, or was stirring around in the night and people went missing. No.
He looked like a right timid folk. It didn't seem like anybody who was a danger to us. Surely not with guards around us. But I don't think... It just doesn't make any sense.
There's some corruption here and somebody's in on it. I just can't figure out who. I was starting to think that there was little to no danger in these woods, but after the encounter yesterday, we know there's at least some side of outside forces at bay here, but I have a feeling that there's something fishy going on with this cult. We just can't seem to put our finger on it.
You have any insight at all, Jan?
Nope.
We're like the worst group of detectives ever. Maybe if we did like an evening stakeout, we tried to stay up late and watch and see what's going on, see if anybody's stirring in the night, or if they're getting up and leaving, or if something's coming in. I don't know.
When everybody's going missing, if you think you can handle it, I think that's the way to go.
So you say they're going missing from inside the fort, yeah?
I counted we had 23 people return yesterday. And when we left today, there were 21. And I'm pretty sure when we arrived, there were 29 people. It just doesn't make sense. These people are going missing, but they're not leaving. They're just going missing. So, I don't know how
Well,
somebody's breaking into the roadhouse. Those walls are plenty high. There's nobody besieging the place.
no
Somewhere,
one's breaking.
Wait,
someplace.
I remember the one guy talking about the storage room. Did anyone ever went into it beside Bulger?
No one's breaking in. They're letting them in or sneaking in through a secret passage or something going on there. And it's strange that they're not making any noise. I wonder if it is to do with the rats or the noises in the night that he says are keeping him up.
Who's keeping who up? What rats? Thank you, Jan. From me to you.
That's what you were talking about, yeah? Hey there?
Yeah, they talk about the rats, but I believe that there's something. I mean, no one of us ever went downstairs, but I mean, I think there could be something in there because the people shouldn't vanish for like for nothing. Probably they're at the bottom of the building.
He was mumbling on last night when we were having drinks about rats keeping him up at night and hearing them in the storage room. And I was asking him about, why not leave out some poison or something to kill him? And he said that they don't come around any areas, that they were just in the storage room. And I know Bogluck's real careful about what he takes and, access to that room. Kept trying to take everyone's valuables and store them away. I wonder if there's some sort of tunnel or something going on there.
They don't lock the main storage. That's where I helped them take some of the crates into there. But I could tell that there's probably about an 8 by 10 or so room that's towards the north end underneath the cafeteria there. That seemed to be locked off where Bog Luck holds that key. I understand that's where he keeps people's valuables, so perhaps that's what's in there. Maybe you all can learn something else from Pete. Otherwise, perhaps just staking out to try to figure out more, but
Staking out, perhaps trying to break in. I suspect maybe there's some sort of tunnel system or something going on there. Perhaps there's an underground passage and they're smuggling the people out, but I still don't know how they do it quietly and against their will. But perhaps a little bit of investigation will help.
if he's not getting any sleep and he's not killing any rats in the cafeteria, rats don't come where there's not food.
Well, maybe he just thought it was rats. I don't know. You think he's in on it as well?
Wouldn't share with you if you were in on it.
Well, tonight's the night then. We're well rested today, so can stay up through the evening and stake out and maybe even attempt to get in there. But if things go sour, Solomon, make sure that they don't suspect that you are in cahoots with us.
That was my aim in hanging back as I did. Hopefully nobody will notice what I was doing. But what it's worth, hopefully I can hold my own, but I will have to report back as soon as I can for the Harpers to know. Can't just go without.
Just remember when we were coming in, when you were buried there in the dirt in the road, that the caravan, some of those same people are here still. Those were the same people that tried to knock on us. So if some of them are still around, they'll know that I saved you from the road, and they may suspect that we have something to do with you. So if things go south, you may need to run and escape for your own safety.
Well, if you all find more information, I'll leave for Leyland and hopefully be able to report back so at least somebody knows what's happening. But as far as we can tell right now, this is where we've tracked all of those different things that have been sent up from the green fields. Cult seems to end in this house. And whatever's going on, it seems to be ending in this house, in that room. So you may not have to speak with Pete, but I think it would be valuable for y'all to try to stay awake, or at least to get back out before whatever's going on is going on.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. And Hadar, way to put two and two together. Tonight's the night. We'll stay up through the evening, and when the time's right, we'll either watch that room and see who goes in and out, follow them, or break in if we need to. But if you don't hear back from us, assume that that's the next area of interest for the Hoppers or the Order of the Gauntlet or whoever you speak with, because there's definitely some cult activities going on here.
Where have they been having you all work?
Wouldn't even call it work. There's no one telling us what to do or exactly what we're supposed to accomplish. They sent us off into the swamp, way off in the middle of nowhere, and told us to scout ahead and clear out the road, but there's nothing even there, and there's no way we could build the road through the damn swamp. They sent us off there to die.
All of the mirrors the same thing. We're just having to fill in the earth, try to bring it up or over the swamp's level. Maybe you all could spend this day searching for where the exit might be, though I believe that might be a wild X-beak chase, but perhaps you can find it. Otherwise, if you've got nothing to do out there, may have time better spent elsewhere than just wasting it on the swamp's edge.
Very true, but I don't know where we would even begin to look for a tunnel entrance or exit, or even if there is one.
Well, would be exit normally needs to be hidden somewhere good, but still shouldn't be too far off of the normal way because it wouldn't be that useful if you have to stroll through the whole woods.
So that's actually a good point there, Hadar. Maybe we can sort of do a perimeter around the fort and see if anything looks peculiar.
Yeah, but I believe, I mean, even if the tunnel system could be big, it still should be in a reasonable size. Yeah.
Right, and it's not like if we don't go to our post today and work that they're even going to notice. No one's even been up to check on our progress. That's a good idea, Solomon. I think that's what we'll do.
That's what I
How
was thinking.
far?
It's a pretty massive search area that you might have, but you guys aren't stealthy. I don't think there's any reason for you to try to tempt stealing them keys from Bog Luck in the middle of the day.
Oh, I must agree. How far out did we come before we ran into Solomon?
It'd be like a quarter of a mile or so.
Okay, so we're still relatively close. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea, Hadar. The two of us can sort of, or the group of us can sort of work like a perimeter around the area and look for any peculiar looking things, any hidden suspicious areas that might have an exit to the tunnel, and perhaps we can come in from the back as opposed to letting Bogluck there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's what we'll do today then. Instead of going to our regular spot, try to like work around the perimeter and look for like, I guess sort of like try to stay out of view of anybody that might suspect us or whatever, like guards for the fort, but like kind of starting around the area where the like what you said the
So they're
storage
still a
area was
ways
like.
off. Like, it's not. The actual roadhouse is well away from where the road work is being done. So they still have like a good distance before you get to that actual work. But Solomon will actually head back off. He is still trying to keep his cover. So he's going to head off to work. And then what was your question there?
So if we went back towards like the roadhouse basically, but sort of like around, I guess like around the outskirts of the perimeter, um, and just kind of like fanned out to try to find like where this potential exit could be. I think that's like where we would start searching and kind of like work our way around.
So what kind of like pattern would you want to search? Kind of like, what's your thoughts? How far away from the roadhouse would you want to be? What sort of pattern would you want to place the four of you all in?
I would think sort of like a fan. Like, I mean, I would imagine that probably wherever the main building is, where the underground passage would be, that it would leave like the closest to the wall, and that it would probably not just like pop up in the middle of nowhere. So I guess like I would think we would kind of fan out around that area specifically and look for somewhere that it would look like hidden. Like if there's like a wooded area or if there's like bushes or a structure, but not just like open flatlands, I guess.
And I would especially look out for some footsteps or maybe, depending on how big it could be, a cart.
Yeah, any kind of like path, foot tracks or anything. Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
So I guess what I'm looking for is more a distance that you want to be from the roadhouse, a distance or relation of your we want to fan out, and then like what sort of pattern of searching you all plan to do.
So we should definitely be out of sight of the roadhouse, but because I believe they wouldn't have an entrance inside of the view of the roadhouse, because people could maybe see that people are going into
Yeah, that
something.
makes sense. So probably like a quarter mile, like to an eighth mile away, somewhere around there is
Well,
where
like
we'd be
that's
like,
viable to me. Essentially, like the group can be just outside of the sight of the roadhouse, which means like basically just within sight. You're on that like edge. So that's like the distance from. What kind of pattern of fanned out do you have in mind?
I would say like basically like each of us covering, within eyesight of the next, and then kind of just like zigzagging back and forth so that we could look for like tracks or a path or like anything like that. And I would imagine that if there's an underground passage and then it's coming back to the surface, that it's not going to be like 10 miles underground. So relatively close to like the out of sight area and then progressively moving away from the roadhouse.
And what do you mean by the zigzag search pattern? What is that thought to you?
Like if Jan and I were say like 200 meters apart or whatever, like I would sort of like walk halfway to him and he would walk halfway to me, and then we would go back the other way, and then the halfway in the opposite direction would like meet me and Jamie up, so that we basically cover the ground, but like as broadly as we can, because essentially we're looking for some kind of path to lead us to where we're going. So I would imagine it would be fairly easy to spot some kind of like foot service or whatever.
The middle should be
Quite a
the
square. But if something like that were essentially the small square is the roadhouse, the large square is the line of sight from the roadhouse. Let me have you basically, like, you guys can see, like, basically, like, 30 feet to one another. Let me change the actual, like, distance real quick. So those are, like, 15-foot squares right now. So if you all can see 30 feet to one another, you can basically have a square between you. What is the zigzag thought that you have? Like, draw that on the map for me.
I think
'Cause
he's still grabbing some water. Or is he back?
Oh yeah, I'm back now.
Because I think, like, if that were the four of you lined up, one person, well, I guess realistically, one person, like, just out of view of the roadhouse.
So I put the 4 X's on the corners. Can you see that?
Yeah, you guys would be well out of view of each other if you were on each of the corners.
Yeah, okay. So I'm picturing that each of us is at one of the corners, and then like I would like say walk here and then back, and then the person right here would like walk to there and then back, and then over to here, back. You know, kind of like fanning out. So each person would basically cover like this much of the area. That's what I meant by fan. I know it was like sort of a bad description.
So you all are well out of view of each other, though, is my point. If you're each on a corner, you are well out of view.
Oh yeah, but we'd be able to cover all the ground though, right?
But the problem is if we split up that much that we could be off guard. I mean, if everyone is alone, this distance.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We did find it, and there was somebody like guarding there. All right, yeah. So I guess like what you put then with the X's like that, and then we just sort of like went like clockwise. So we were still always within like view of each other, but we could cover like whatever it is, you know, a couple 100 feet, and then it just do like a circle around the fort.
So with that thought, you all are basically just like walking in a like wheeled circle.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then that way we could always see each other, but we're covering like a big perimeter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like to that effect.
Yeah, is that what you think, Jan? So we're always like within vision of each other, but we don't miss it if there is like an area. I would imagine we'd be able to, if we find the area, we'll find it. It's not going to be like it's one or the other. We either find something or we don't. I don't know what the actual terrain looks like around there, but I would imagine it probably doesn't just like pop up in the middle of a field. There's probably like trees or something else around, you know, bushes, something suspicious. And if it's like particularly swampy, we know that's probably not the area where there's a tunnel built because it would probably be full of water.
All right. Let me have you two do investigations. And who's going where? Like of those X's, which is which?
Oh, you can have first pick if you want, yeah. I guess I'll be the second from the outside. And then I guess you can just randomize everybody else if since they're not there. Keep your distance, Vicious. Don't get too close to me.
Alrighty. So you all can prepare yourselves. You kind of like plot out this little bit on a little scrap of, I assume Tinus probably has paper to kind of plot out this little bit of a search pattern. This is definitely, I've got like a little bit of a background in archaeology, so I had to actually force you all to really plot something out. This is how you actually search, is making it strategic. And after a few moments of actually going about this search pattern, it's not long before Vicious kind of yells out to everybody that she has spotted a little underground tunnel that seems to lead footprints out of, and the two of you would come across the footprints shortly after that actually lead off almost directly west of where her search pattern pretty much took. So you all are successfully able to locate what seems to be the way out. Essentially from that point there seems to be an underground tunnel that leads out of that location.
Nice. And is it just like literally an open tunnel? Like, or is there anything like barring it off, like doors or anything?
From this side, there doesn't appear to be much of anything other than just brush and the footprints that kind of disappear into the earth.
We're going in.
So you can crawl in and start to like make your actual ways inside. It's pretty muddy. It's pretty foul. There doesn't seem to be like any construction like to speak of. It's much more a utility of this seems to be a tunnel underneath. Vicious is the only one who can currently see much of anything inside, and it's all black and white.
We'll light a torch.
So it's probably about like 4.5, 5 feet in height through most of this area, but you all are able to kind of hunch down and climb through. What sort of thoughts do you have as you're going through the area?
I guess we would like be looking for where it leads to, which I mean, obviously we kind of have an idea, but going to that area and then seeing is there some sort of like door or lock or something once we get there. That's
Does anybody have proficiency with cartographer's tools?
I do not have cartographers or proficiency.
Jamie's got navigator's tools. Let's see. One and a 2. Advantage was useless. You guys get the general feeling that it is leading to the southwest, which basically tracks that it's leading directly underneath, like essentially brown for this. Like the road out of the roadhouse basically leads along that path. So you all are already searching basically on the north side of the road. You get the vague understanding that it's leading to the southeast, towards the roadhouse itself. But other than that, you don't necessarily have like a solid understanding of where you're going to. You are able to track it back to a location where it seems like there is a trapdoor above you, basically like a wooden door that seems to drop down into the floor or into this tunnel that you're in, and that seems to be where everything goes.
So when we get to the trap door, we'd definitely listen to see if we can hear anything on the other side.
Do a perception check. I have to run to the bathroom real quick, but I'll be right back in a second. Let's see. What was it? You were listening for anything through the door? You would not hear anything above.
Yeah, so I guess we would probably not come back tonight and then stake out the tunnel. Like not right at the hatch or whatever. Um but basically so that if somebody comes in from either direction, we would have like a surprise on them. That makes sense.
Yeah, basically like to be like outside of the tunnel.
No, like inside the tunnel still, but not like right at the trap door. So they would like basically like come through the trap door, start walking, and then run into us, or come in through the like outdoor like entrance and be like halfway into it and then run into us. so that essentially it would be like harder for them. So I just want to make sure they can't just like close the trap door and then lock it and be like, oh shit. Or, if they come in the tunnel, they're already halfway in the tunnel. They can't just like turn around and run the other way.
Yeah, I'm back. I hope didn't miss anything.
All right, so
No,
share
nothing.
that thought with Jan here because he was restarting his computer.
So Jan, I was thinking we would like stake out in the tunnel because they didn't seem particularly worried about us coming back at night anyway. So stake out like inside the tunnel itself, out of like say like 100 feet away from the actual like trapdoor entrance inside the tunnel. So if somebody comes down through the trapdoor, they'll like come in, think everything's fine, close the door, and then we can ambush them. Or vice versa, if they come from the outside, they would be like halfway in the tunnel and then all of a sudden run into us.
Well,
Because we would basically get the jump on whoever it is, because there's no one's going to be expecting us to be like waiting inside their secret tunnel.
the problem would be if the tunnel is not used for a day or longer.
Yeah, I mean, we've been noticing people are disappearing pretty regularly at night, so it's worth a shot. I mean, the other option is to try to like steal the keys from Bogluck, but then all that's going to do really is just get us into the room. But they're probably not keeping anything valuable inside the room. They're probably just using it as a tunnel to get everything out, I would imagine.
So is the trapdoor closed or what?
Yeah, it was closed. And I tried to listen in and couldn't hear anything on the other side. But I also didn't roll very good.
I mean, it could be. Normally, I would believe that people are getting in by the tunnel at night, probably, and also get out by it. So if you can't hear anything from the door now, but the people that probably not in there right now will come in by the tunnel.
Well, yeah, I figure there's people coming probably in by the tunnel to either pick up the goods or pick up the slaves or sacrifices or new recruits, whatever they are, or there's somebody like coming in legitimately and then leaving with them through that tunnel. The real question is if they're leaving willingly versus if they're like subduing them and then like taking the bodies or taking the like captives out of there. But either way, I think staking out in the tunnel is going to give us the best ability to like ambush them.
I'm not sure. I think this tunnel is not that big that we can hide here anywhere.
Oh yeah, I guess how big is the tunnel? Is it like one person high and one person wide?
Yeah, you guys are basically having to like hunch down. It's about 4.5, 5 feet in most places. And then it's roughly like a little bit wider than your shoulders, but it's roughly one person wide.
Okay, so maybe we could. And there was only one way the tunnel went. There was not like splits in it or anything.
You lit the torch essentially at the entrance, right?
Yeah, I had the torch lit the whole time.
Yeah, you would be pretty sure that you didn't miss anything. Unless there was
Okay.
a pretty well hidden secret door. You're pretty confident that there was just this single route.
Okay, so what if we just stake out outside the tunnel, and then if somebody comes to go into it, we can ambush them, and if somebody comes out of it, we can ambush them.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds better than staying in a dark tunnel all night long.
So, are they going to be able to? Are people that come back from the road going to be able to see us from the road where we're at now, or are we far enough away at the entrance?
No, like in general, like this whole area is this like forest and swamp area. Some areas are less like inundated by water and others are more. But like the clearing that the roadhouse is built into is part of where that actual square of vision is. That's about the longest that you can see, and that's 70 feet. There's basically 30 feet of vision, so you guys are essentially like right where your tokens are is just outside of view of the actual service road anyways.
Yeah. So, can we like camp out right there around like that little circle? No fire or anything like that. Like, and just be discreet.
Most certainly. It's still the way things played out, just kind of drawing it and where I rolled the dice to see where the entrance would be. You guys found it right away, so it's still pretty early in the morning. Even after leaving a little bit late, speaking with Solomon, you guys are looking at like, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning type of thing.
Yeah, I don't feel like we have anything to do, and I'm definitely not going to work. We're pretty well rested. We can make some food for Hadar. Spend the next 16 hours making food for Hadar.
Well, can take a long rest.
Yeah, we like just
You
woke up from
cannot take a long rest. Yeah, you're limited to one every 24 hours.
we basically just like sit in the field in the swamp and do nothing for the next 16 hours or whatever.
We drink some coffee.
Can we just fast forward through that?
Yeah, essentially, if you all are just kind of sitting around doing nothing for that entire day, you more or less have no issue there. Let me have each of you roll a d6.
Second, I need to restart my roll 20.
Thank God you picked up on the rat thing, Jan. I was so focused on the poison, it didn't even occur to me that that's what was going on.
Oh, one of the other things was having you all roll for intelligence. Like, the dragon was massive. The amount of poison that you would have to collect to try to poison a dragon is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be pretty suspect if we're like, we need 4 like barrels of poison.
I looked up in the PHB, like, even without Bog Luck being a criminal, it is 100 gold for a small vial of poison. So the level of trying to purchase poison would be absolutely hilarious. And the dragon essentially weighs like 2.1 tons, so it's approximately a 4,000-pound dragon.
He's
Well,
like, how much poison do you need? We're like, it's not about how much we need. It's about how much we can afford.
the other problem would be getting the poison into a human body or something else. Like that it needs to eat it, the poison. So
It was worth a try. And I feel like in the end it led us to what we needed. So it worked out, yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the other thought where I was like, yeah, I think you guys are underestimating that dragons are apex predators and they are intelligent. They may not be all like wizard level intelligent, but they are intelligent creatures. And that was part of what I was getting at, where you had a chance to kind of goad it back towards you. But it's not necessarily the type of thing where you can just like trick these things into doing what you need to do, because they are intelligent creatures. There's a reason
all
they're at
Raz's
top of the
fault.
food chain.
Raz's fault we didn't get to fight the vampire, and now it's Raz's fault we didn't get to fight the dragon.
Well, honestly, the vampire was never actually something that you all can fight. That vampire is a dream vampire. That's one of the things where so much of what I had set up was like that idea that you all were stuck fighting it in Raz's dreams, that like you guys could fight only as much as he could remember about your characters, like about you as people, because it was all happening inside of his head.
Oh no, I meant like the guy like with the vampire.
Yeah, that guy wasn't actually even transferring the vampire though. He like had
Oh, I thought he was carrying a vampire in a coffin or something.
no. It's more than that. But that guy's gone anyways. He's out of the story. But that's what I mean, where like that vampire is not like a physical form. It's something else. The cultists that he avoided, that was really disappointing, because that was a really fun thing, because it was like a timer to see what demon they could summon. So yeah, I rolled a 3. The two of you rolled those. I don't think there's any call for any sort of encounters through the day. So you all just kind of hang out. You get a pretty solid idea during high noon when people are kind of making their way back to the roadhouse for lunch. Have you any thoughts about going back at lunchtime?
Oh, I
Well,
don't feel like we normally went back at lunch, did we?
Yeah. Before you were, that's part of the thing. Like, you guys were basically walking 2 hours each, like, trip for like an 8 hour day of work. You were walking for like 4 hours because you were walking for lunch and then you were walking at dinner time, like when you came back.
Well, if we walk to the spot 2 hours and then we walk back 2 hours.
No,
and
no,
then
like
eat
it was an
lunch.
hour walk to the spot.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like it was 2 hours, like round trip. But
Yeah,
that was
there's
part
no
of my
reason
point.
to do lunch. I would just skip through that and go to the evening.
So yeah, you guys
Yeah.
can hang out through the actual lunchtime. The sun starts to set, and you hang out through that time. Let me have you two roll another d6.
And I have a question. Is there anything in the area that would be possible to hide in or hide behind, like some kind of rock or a tree?
I mean, it's a massive swamp, so there's like 30 foot of vision before there's like tree and undergrowth in any given direction. Which I think on this map, how it's set, should be about 2 spaces.
Okay, so I will go to the exit. Like we probably shouldn't just stand right in front of it and just hide somewhere here. I mean,
Oh yeah, I would imagine we'll be fairly well concealed, and if anything starts coming, we'll see it before it sees us. Especially if it's got a torch or making any noise.
yeah, we should definitely we should definitely put our lights off too. So it probably would be, I'm not sure, but maybe it's a better idea to hide a little bit more to the north where we are now, because probably people see us when we are near the road. But if we go up there, they might not see us that easily or expect to see someone.
Oh yeah, I think he said we could pretty much be like hidden around it without being visible from the road or anything. So
Uh, I mean, you want to stay there? Yeah, I still believe that these guys are more cautious to be to the side of the road, and we should hide at the other side. Or like,
oh yeah, I drew like that little circle there for like where we would go. Yeah. So if anything comes in or goes out, we would see it like easily, but we're out of sight of everything else. Because he said you can only see 30 feet with the fog. And on this map, each square is 15 feet. So you can only be seen within like 2 squares pretty much.
Alrighty, so while you all are hanging out in the evening, a little bit before sun sets, you start to hear a little bit of like rambling footsteps behind you all. Let me have the two of you roll for initiative. Alright, so the first is going to move up to Hadar and swing on you.
Are we back to regular like 5 foot squares now? Or is it still 15 to scale?
still 15.
Yeah, for the purpose of the actual combat, this is 5 foot squares. I can change it back. I didn't want
Oh
to
no, you
clear
don't need
all the
to. I was
writing.
just wondering.
I don't think the actual tunnel is useful for anything except for maybe reference for notes at this point. But I didn't want to clear it. Let's see. It is going to swing and fumble with a 1. It's going to go to Doc.
So do we know, are these ghouls? Is that what's going on?
They seem to be some sort of undead creature.
Okay, not lizard people.
No, not lizards. Some sort of humanoid, but
Okay. I'm gonna do bow attack at the one that is what is that? Like east, southeast?
so more or less the one that's
Um,
directly to the east of you.
Yeah, that one. And I'm gonna add a um thing to it, D 14.
That was rolled to hit.
Yeah, 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Woo, close one. Okay, and then I would go one more time at it. All right, same. 12.
12 does not. Hit. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good. 19.
This creature reeks of death as it approaches you, and you're able to just like stifle it a little bit as you think of what is Hadar's favorite kind of food.
Probably big old ham.
A creature of death walks up to you, and you think of one of the foods that goes bad the quickest. I love it. You are immune to its stench for the next 24 hours.
And Hader feels a little grumbling in his stomach. Well, just what time of the day is it? It is right now. I mean, is it still
It's like
sunny?
mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. Okay, so we can still see these things. Yeah, then I'm gonna just attack the one right next to me. 2 hands. 15 to
15
hit.
hits.
For 11. And I would prefer I want to do the stunning strike on it. DC of 13 for a con saving throw.
It seems to shudder as its muscles freeze up.
Great. So I'm gonna attack again with my stick with 2 hands.
27 hits.
Shouldn't that be? No, it's oh. Okay. Shouldn't that be a critical hit?
Yeah. Roll another d8.
Afterwards, I'm gonna use my bonus action to perform a flurry of blows.
Nice, dude.
But somehow it's not showing the attack damage. Yes. A second.
So another 8 damage. Alright, I guess realistically, roll another d6. Overall, it really is easier if everybody just sets stuff up to roll
Yeah.
just an attack that has the attack, the damage, and counts crits if you crit.
Yeah, it's somewhat confusing because sometimes it just changes without me doing anything to it. So
Yeah, they've made some kind of changes because the last like 2 weeks, my stuff was all acting goofy.
yeah, that's the problem. But I try have a look into it.
Alright, that will kill that one off. This other one should have gone first before Hadar, but it's going to move forward. Thankfully, it cooperated. It's going to move into Doc. And a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely hit.
Let's see. It will do. Oh, those wrong dice. And they were so good. Double ones, of course. 2d8's really good damage, 2d6 really shit damage, so 5 damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so it's 5 total damage, huh?
Yeah. Rolled a 7 and a 4 with the d8s.
I'm gonna use luck on that.
That saves. Move into Hadar. Should hit with a 21 and deal 7 damage to you. Need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I failed. I rolled a 1 on that.
Let's go for the half haze. Hadar is paralyzed. And we'll go to Doc.
Don't freeze up now, Hadar. I need you. Step back.
It's going to hit you with a 25, and it's going to deal 22 damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Still saves.
All right, I'm gonna attack the one I attacked last time. This damage.
That's the one on Hadar right now.
And I'm gonna do dagger sharpshooter.
17 hits.
I'm not gonna modify it. He's still alive.
Just holding on with a little bit of unlife.
Do I get an inclination whether or not I should sharpshooter or no?
You can do a medicine check with advantage. You're probably pretty safe just hitting it.
Okay, I'll do that then. I definitely don't want to hit Hadar, so I'm gonna use a luck point on that.
You guys are seriously trying to kill me.
All right, so 11
17
and-
hits. And that will kill it.
Oh wait. Because it added in.
Yeah,
Okay.
plus 6.
Okay. And then I will use one more attack at the other one. Do I know how long he stays frozen for or no?
You can't really do another check this turn,
Okay, that's cool.
but I don't think you would necessarily have an idea.
I'm gonna dagger sharpshooter that one, and then I'm going to move to combat with it so it doesn't attack Hadar.
Gonna swing on you and miss. Go back to Doc. Oh, my bad. You can actually make a Constitution saving throw for me, Hadar. At the end of your turn, you would unfreeze.
Wait.
So, still going back to Doc, though.
Okay, I'm gonna take a step back again.
Double 6s for damage, but a 3 to hit. It's gonna miss.
And then I will sharpshooter it. I'm gonna leave that alone. That hits or no?
14 hits, yep. It's gonna leave it pretty rough.
Okay, I'm gonna do a regular dagger attack.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, sweet. So since I didn't miss with any of my daggers, do I recover them all or no?
Do an investigation for me.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to recover all of them. Probably could have killed you both if you had both frozen at the same time there.
Yeah, that's
was,
what I was afraid of. That's why I ran in between, so there's no way that it would frickin' go for Hadar.
that the problem would be if you also got paralyzed.
Yeah, that's why I knew I had to use the luck because I failed that one before you did, and I'm like, holy shit. I mean, that thing did like 22 damage in one hit to me, I think it was.
Yeah, that was a crit, and I think I had 2 5s, a 6, and a 3 for the damage, and it adds +3.
Yeah, it's pretty big damage.
Yeah, it's
Their DC is so low, though, it's a joke. And then you add in something like having a paladin around, it would be next to impossible to fail.
What is it when you're paralyzed, though? They automatically hit you or they get 2 advantage? What is it?
it went advantage at least.
Yeah, so that would be absolutely horrible. If we were both paralyzed and they're just like advantage attacking us.
Yeah, I mean, at least we already killed one in the beginning. So,
Yeah, paralysis is advantage with auto crits within 5 feet.
Oh, both? It's auto crits?
Yep.
Yeah, that's freaking brutal.
You're just little babies, though. So we will adjust back to there, where the group is waiting for night to fall. And we will kind of let me have you each roll a d10. Doc will be the 10s, Hadar will be the 1s.
Damn, if only Hadar were the 10s and I was the ones.
well,
You guys are rolling on point when I'm asking you to make those rolls. Both got the 2 5s earlier. So
Yeah, we roll the same thing every time.
shortly into the evening, shortly after dusk, you all would have seen everybody start to head back into the roadhouse earlier. And shortly after dusk, you all will start to hear little bits of movement off to the west of you.
Could we... Sorry, can we do a short rest and get our hit dice and everything?
Oh, yeah, you can. This isn't, well, I guess realistically you're murder hobos, so I can't say that. But yeah, you can definitely take a short rest.
Okay, we're... During the short rest, you notice that Doc's doing a little bit of drinking. Probably some smoking, too.
I'm like baking damage for Vicious and Tinus and doing a short rest for them as well.
Got to double the damage on Vicious and assume that she forgot to rage.
First time I've rolled D12s in a long time. D12s ain't no joke. So shortly after everybody comes in for the evening, after the sun kind of sets, it's like early dusk into the night. You all will start to hear some like creeping footsteps up to the west.
Get into position and set the ambush, I guess. I guess I will get ready to get ready to light a torch when they get close enough and then like throw it at them so they would be like well lit so we can make sure we see who or what it is.
Hadar? What are you up to?
What direction did you say they're coming from?
The west. Are you there, Jan?
He might still be paralyzed from the ghoul.
All right, you don't see anything at present, Jan, so if you're just sitting back to watch them, that's what you're doing. All right, so the sound seems to be getting a little bit closer. You feel like if you were to light the torch now, you would have viable sight on them, and or be able to, like, toss the torch towards them and be able to see them.
Do they have any like torches lit or anything?
Nope, at present it seems to be whatever is moving up to you is doing so under the shade of the night.
Did this work?
Yep, that's
we
where
hear you now.
Great.
Okay, so they don't have any torches lit, and can I tell how many there are? Can we tell how many there are? Does it look like there's 2 of them, 10 of them? No idea.
Do a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay, I'm guessing that's a big no.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of tell what's really happening here, but it's definitely more than a few, but it's probably not 10.
Okay, I think ideally what I would like to do is, if possible, wait till they get close enough that I can throw the torch behind them.
But do you want to let them enter into the tunnel before you throw the torch?
Oh yeah, if they're not going to see us and enter into the tunnel, might not be a bad idea. Damn, I feel like we should have planned this out. I'm not sure if our intention. Yeah, okay. I guess what we're gonna do is wait until they get. Damn.
Oh.
We want to kill them before they get into the tunnel, I think, because we want to pretend to be them and see who's on the other side when we open the door and like get them on the ambush.
I mean, I don't know how far we can plan it now because we are already hiding and not really able to talk to each other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think I want to wait until they get close, but we don't want them to be able to get into the tunnel. So once they're close but not quite in the tunnel, I will light and throw the torch behind them.
Well,
All right. How about we end the session here and we will let the others join in and you guys can actually have a chance to plan before things go down.
right, yeah, because I have wait, give me a second. I had the idea that we could just let him walk in and see how many are there, and later when they get out, they need to get out at some point. Could ambush them then, probably, because no one would be waiting for them at that moment in. Because if we kill them before, they probably someone was waiting for them, and if they don't come, probably makes us suspicious.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the other way around. I was thinking we kill them and then go in the tunnel, and whoever's on the other side of the tunnel is going to think that we're them, and then when they open the door, we'll know who the shady person is. But I mean, we can talk about it with everybody and get an idea, assuming that we would have like strategized some way prior to this happening. But yeah, I mean, either one of those is really a viable option. The only reason I was thinking to do it this way is because then we know who the bad guy is. As we're this way, if we just like kill them on the way out, we won't know who the shady person is. I mean, I guess we can interrogate them though.